Hey y'all, my name's Emma. I am a natural nail tech that specializes in structured gel manicures, and I've been on a hard gel journey the last year and a half. And if you're from Instagram, you know that I share a lot of short form content about this, but honestly, we just needed a longer video. So we're doing basic hard gel concepts today, and I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. As with any sort of nail service, you want to prep the nail effectively, do your dehydrator. I personally don't really ever use primer, and then you have to have a flexible base for hard gel. My absolute favorite is American Creator. I use their rubber base, and I love that it gives you the pH on the bottle. Like, they are just so upfront and transparent with their products. I have found that no matter what brand of hard gel I use over top of this, its retention is unmatched. Absolutely love the product. It's flexible, perfect for under hard gel, and absolutely an essential step that you cannot skip. I get a lot of questions about like how thick, how much, and honestly, you want to do this as if you were doing a basic gel polish manicure essentially. You're going to put on not a thin layer, not a thick layer, just enough that it kind of evens out the nail, and you want to focus primarily on making sure that by the cuticle and by the sidewalls are covered with product, because anywhere that this is not will lift because hard gel has a neutral pH. And that just means it won't adhere to the nail because the acid in nail products is what causes it to adhere to the nail. When you actually start to build out your hard gel, I personally don't put this all the way to the cuticle. I actually start building around 3/4 to halfway, and you are not building an apex. I think that's what's so difficult when you go from soft gel to hard gel is you're so used to letting the gel work for you to create this beautiful smooth hump in the nail, and you're not doing that with this. You're creating a frame almost, and you want it to be the same thickness from the middle of the nail to the free edge. You probably noticed that I didn't shorten the nails prior to putting on new product. That is essential for this technique specifically. There are multiple ways to achieve middle of the nail to free edge thickness being the same. My personal favorite is to apply all the product that I'm going to apply prior to shortening the nails, and you're going to just apply it evenly from the middle of the nail to the free edge. And gel naturally wants to taper, and that's why e-filing is so important. So for this technique specifically, half of it is product application, half of it is done with an e-file. I also wanted to show you the multiple different viscosities that hard gel comes in. They come in so many different viscosities. And so play around with it. Find one that you love, that works for you, that is quick to build with, and then go from there. When you start to e-file, this is where you see the shape and the aesthetics start to make sense. You are taking down that product and it is creating that correct thickness because it is taking off that edge where the gel has naturally tapered. So you take the length down to whatever your client desires, whatever you feel is appropriate, and then you are going to take an under nail cleaner or an under nail shaper, and you are literally going to file out natural nail and gel until you achieve an in between thin and thick free edge. And you can kind of look at it and be like, is this aesthetically pleasing? Do I think this is going to have enough structure? And use your judgment. Hard gel doesn't need to be thick to be strong. It's actually best when it is a little thinner. And so you want a nice C curve, you're going to take out that natural nail, and then I personally go in with my hand file after this and I shape the nail. Depending on what kind of hard gel, you may then need to do some top filing, some finish filing just to make it all seamless and aesthetic. And that is basic hard gel. Like I said, this is just one technique. One. There are multiple different ways to do hard gel. My way is not the best way. This is not even my way. This is the way that I have learned and trialed and errored through the last year. And like I said, a lot of you just wanted to see a longer video on how I do this. And so this is essentially it. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, drop them below. I'll be doing more videos on this soon. Thanks for watching.